Hello and welcome to today's blog. So today we're going to be talking about developing your characters with the Dungeons & Dragons alignment charts. So you may be familiar with these charts from playing Dungeons & Dragons or from playing games such as Baldur's Gate, or you may have seen them online. It's become quite popular recently to post sets of characters from television shows such as Game of Thrones in the alignment charts. So back in the 1970s, when Dungeons and Dragons was first invented, they allowed characters to have three sets of characteristics. They could be either lawful, neutral, or chaotic. Lawful meant that the character had a respect for society's rules. Neutral meant they required a balance in society's rules, and chaotic meant they rebelled against them. Later on, they introduced a second axis, good, neutral, and evil. Once these two sets of alignments had been invented, it meant there were 9 possible alignments for a character. A character can be chaotic good, for example, or true neutral, or lawful evil. In the game, these character alignments help predict how certain characters would act when they were put in the same party together or when they battled. So if you've ever played Baldur's Gate, you'll know that if you have an evil character and a good character in the same party, they can react to each other quite badly. You can be in the middle of battling an ogre, for example, and all of a sudden your two opposing characters will start battling amongst themselves and you have no control over them anymore. So because I really love Labyrinth, I thought we'd take Jareth the Goblin King from Labyrinth as our example. When you first look at Jareth, he does look like lawful evil. He likes to steal babies. He has a labyrinth that's complex that has to be completed in a certain way. He can control time. But it's his motivations that will help identify where his alignment truly lies. He has no evil intentions. He does steal babies, but once he has them, they become goblins in his castle, and they sort of just hang out with him. That is quite sad for the family who's lost the baby, of course. But he has no greater intentions beyond that. He doesn't want to raise a goblin army to overrun the earth, for example. He just wants the goblins. It seems as the movie continues that his main goal is merely to amuse himself. He starts messing up the labyrinth. He changes how it works. He reorders time. So because his object is simply to amuse himself, we can say that his intentions are neither good nor evil, but simply neutral. And while at first he appears like he's a lawful character and he has a lot of rules for his world, he's just as easily able to destroy all those rules and run things his own way, which makes him chaotic. All the conflict comes from good versus evil, right? As we've seen from Jareth the Goblin King, neutral characters can be interesting as well. In fact, neutral characters can be quite complex. The interesting thing about them is they can fall in line with either good or evil characters. So if you've played Baldur's Gate, you'll know that neutral characters can be a great asset. So you can create a party full of evil mages, for example. There's quite a lot of evil mages to pick from in the game, but it's very hard to find a really good fighter because most of them are good. With a neutral character, you can stick your evil mages and your neutral fighters all in together and they'll get along just fine. It's because these neutral characters can be so flexible that make them very interesting for storytelling. So imagine if you've got a lawful good character who's in love with a neutral chaotic character, and this neutral chaotic character has just been heavily involved with a lot of evil characters. What might this mean for the lawful good character? How will they look upon the neutral character now? Will they think that they're untrustworthy or easily swayed? The neutral character won't say that they've done anything wrong, but the lawful good character will think that's ignorance at best and complicity at worst. So another way to create complexity using these alignments is having a character pretend to be one alignment when they're really another. So in Die Hard with a Vengeance, Jeremy Irons plays the antagonist. He sets off a bomb in central New York and he sends John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, on a sort of scavenger hunt all over the city looking for bombs. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason for this. He's pretending to be chaotic. But as the movie progresses, we see that Jeremy Irons, or Simon as he calls himself, has a very definite end in mind. He wants to steal $140 million worth of gold bullion from the Reserve Bank, and he's using the scavenger hunt as a mask. So have a think about your work in progress. Are there any characters that might benefit from masking their goals in this way? So if you take a look at your characters and you can't quite discern what alignment they might be, you can take a test There are personality tests online that I can link below for you. So you might like to take them as yourself and discover what your alignment is. And I'm apparently a true neutral paladin. You can also take them as your character to discern what they are. You might find that your characters change over time and there could be internal complexity there. For example, a character could start being lawful good. They believe in all the rules of their society because they've never questioned before. But put them in touch with the neutral character and what might that do? They could start questioning anything and moving their alignment closer to a neutral or a chaotic way of looking at things. So I hope this has been helpful for you. You can always have a go at playing Dungeons and Dragons or Baldur's Gate to see how the alignments work. I really recommend that. It's a lot of fun. You can also take the tests as I've mentioned, or simply take a look at your characters and see how you can work these alignments in. And I'd love to hear how you go with that. Post any comments below if you do. Thanks so much. Bye.